Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the hopeful, elect brothers that's doing the will of the Lord in sincerity and in truth. Now, this video that you see, this is a YouTube app, of course, but this video that I paused is made by Traveling with Kristen. That's this person's page, and the title of the video is Americans are leaving the country in record numbers. And this woman is going to go into, the fact that Americans are leaving the country more than ever. They're even renouncing or giving up their citizenship, and they don't want to come back because basically America has become too dangerous to live and to raise a family here. And this is prophecy, by the way. I'm gonna get a scripture before I even play the video or read the article. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, everyone, into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even into the skies. So, who is Babylon? What is Babylon? Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon, in this time today is the US of A. It's America. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. And Babylon, when you break it down, it means confusion. It means land of confusion. It goes back to the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion. And what goes down in America is just 100% confusion. Confusion, which goes into, woman being above men. The most number one example is it being modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, where a man can have surgery, to want to turn into a woman, and vice versa. This is the land of confusion. This is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. This is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. This is Babylon the Great. It's also modern day Assyria, also modern day Rome. We're in the modern Roman Empire. So it says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. So Babylon is being destroyed as I speak, as I'm doing this video. And the people, ever since the lockdown, just have way more demons on them. They're committing way more heinous crimes, and as times get harder and harder, people lose their jobs. And remember what's happening with the war with Babylon. War with U.S., Israel, and Iran. Salakia. Iran closed off the Strait of Hormuz, and that's causing an energy crisis in which fuel, and also fertilizer is being affected. So prices are about to go up, and you need fuel for everything. So even the farmers are gonna feel it, and it's gonna start a famine, right? So Babylon won't be healed. You know, the Most High is setting this place up for destruction, which is prophecy. Prophecy means to say before. And the prophecies that are written down in the scriptures, like what I'm reading, was written thousands of years ago by the prophets, by the men of the Lord. And now a lot of them are coming to pass. This is coming to pass right now. So Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, is so she may be healed. And a balm is something like an ointment that you would put on an injury, or a wound to help it to heal faster. So there's no type of relief that could aid Babylon in bouncing back. It's in like what, $39 trillion of debt. So there's no way you could bounce back from that. There's no way. But they are gonna make a way, which is the great reset, which is to bind all of the U.S. debt to digital money, to digital currency, and wipe it out, so that they could start the reset of money, the currency reset, which is going into the NWO, which is going to revolve around the MOTB RFID chip. Verse 9: we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even into the skies. So America's wickedness has reached up to the heavens. Reached up to the Heavenly Father. It's just too much. So like the season is changing, and it's affecting me. And the weather, in the city, had just been up and down, up and down. The other day, just yesterday, it was 40, and now today is like, earlier was 70. So the season is changing, and it's just affecting everybody because the weather is wild right now. So forgive me for sounding a certain way. And it's lifted up even into the skies. So America's wickedness, which is done by Esau Edom, because look at the president, look at the government, look at the world. Is run by Edomites, so-called white people. They're the cause of all this wickedness. So it says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So no type of aid or relief can heal America. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even into the skies. Even to the skies. So let us flee to let us go everyone into his own country. This is people.com. It says Americans are leaving the U.S. in record numbers. Here's what's driving the trend. This is prophecy coming to pass. Let me get something else. Lord will, this won't be a long video, because I don't think it needs to be that long. But it's all the spirit. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. And this This is what's going on right now. Prophecies are coming to pass all over. The major end time prophecies is coming to pass right now. Habakkuk 2 and 3, because the precept that I just read in Jeremiah is prophecy which is coming to pass, and this is explaining that the prophecies won't tarry anymore. There won't be a delay. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So the prophecy of Babylon not being healed and people fleeing this place and, leaving or immigrating out of America to go live in other countries is coming to pass right now. For the vision is in for an appointed time. The vision is talking about the prophecies. Because the prophecies were given to the prophets, which are Israelites, thousands of years ago, by the Most High through vision and dreams. They actually saw the prophecies, and then they preached it. They prophesied it unto the people, and then they also wrote it down in scrolls. And now we have the scriptures. Now we have the Bible. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So the prophecies was set. Salakia. The prophecies was set for an appointed time to happen, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Right now we're at the end. We're in the last days. We're at the very end of the last days. We're in the end times, so the prophecies are coming to pass right now. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. So that means it's happening. Though it tarry, wait for it. Yeah, let me drink some water. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So, though it seemed like there was a delay, it's not delaying anymore. It's not tarrying anymore. There's no more delay, because it's all happening. Let me go back to Jeremiah. Man, this phone is pure garbage, man. Jeremiah 51 and 9. Americans are leaving the U.S. in record numbers. Here's what's driving the trend. Places like Portugal, Ireland, Thailand, and Bali are becoming increasingly popular permanent destinations. This was published in February 28 earlier this year, February 28, 2026. Need to know. More Americans left the U.S. than moved during 2025, a trend not seen since 1935. Rising costs, remote work, and lifestyle changes are driving Americans to countries such as Portugal, Thailand, and Ireland. 1 second. Yeah, Salakia. Experts say the trend spans diverse demographics and could significantly impact the U.S. population in the coming years. A growing number of Americans are choosing to leave the United States and build new lives abroad, and the trend is happening at levels not seen in decades. In 2025, the United States experienced a rare period of negative net migration, meaning more Americans left the country than moved in. So you had more Americans that leave the U.S. than than uh than people immigrating here. Immigrating, that means people coming from other countries migrate migrating here to live. You know, legally and illegally, in which certain so-called illegal immigrants, they're not illegal. You know, like so-called Mexicans, you know, and Latinos. This is their land that Esau stole, so they're not actually illegal. They're not actually aliens or illegal immigrants. You know, Esau is just showing, you know, DJT, the president, you know, the government. They're just showing their hate towards them because they're Israelites, and Edom, Edomites are the number one enemy of the Israelites. They hate us even to this day. While exact figures are difficult to track, estimates suggest at least 180,000 U.S. citizens relocated overseas last year, and the true number is likely higher, probably in the millions. And then you have passport bros. Passport bros might be a part of this too. Experts say this Experts say this rise is due to a mix of economic pressures and lifestyle changes that have made moving abroad more appealing and accessible for many Americans. Rising housing costs and everyday expenses like food and healthcare. Healthcare here is ridiculous. It's not free. But when you move out to like certain places in Europe, certain countries in Europe, healthcare is free. And you have better healthcare in other countries. Like I think Cuba has the best doctors in the world. And when you go to other countries, they actually treat you, you know, and they don't bill you $100,000 for one day in the hospital like how they do here. It's crazy, crazy what they do here in America. It's crazy. Like food and healthcare in many parts of the United States have pushed some Americans to look outside options. Uh, Due to remote work, major role, da 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 da. It says many Americans can now keep their U.S. based jobs and salaries while living in countries with lower overall cost of living, meaning their U.S. dollar stretches further. Jeremiah 51:9. Let me try to get another comparison, and then I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna skim through it, and then end the lesson. Lord will. I just caught the hiccups out of nowhere. Before I was fine. As soon as I started to do the video, I started to cough and started to get hiccups out of nowhere. My nose started to get more stuffy. It's crazy. But whatever, I'm gonna finish the video anyways. CSB. We tried to heal Babylon, but she could not be healed. Abandon her. Leave her alone. You know, these people are leaving America like, yo, we're fed up of this. In Brooklyn, in Manhattan, like the median rent is like $4,000 or $5,000 for like a studio, one bedroom. It's crazy. $4,000 for a closet. It's crazy. Let each of us go to his own land, for her judgment extends to the sky and reaches as far as the clouds. NLT, we would have helped her if we could, but nothing can save her now. Damn, I like this one. Let her go, abandon her, return now to your own land. For her judgment, for her punishment reacheth to the heavens. It is so great it cannot be measured. Let me get the AMP. We would have healed Babylon, but she was not to be healed. Abandon her and let each captive, because this place is really a prison. America is not really a country; it's a corporation. It's a business. People come here, they're employees. They work, and then they pay like 30-40% taxes, and then they have to pay taxes after they already gave 30-40% taxes of their paycheck on food, on clothes. Then they have to pay rent and bills. This place really, it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. Like this place is hell when you think about it. Return to his own country, for her guilt and punishment have reached to the heavens and are lifted up to the very skies. Now I'm gonna get to the video.
For some people, the new American dream is not to live there. According to some sources, upwards of 9 million U.S. citizens are currently living abroad, and that number is only going up. Where are they going? Everywhere, but especially Europe. I've been helping Americans move abroad for the last 20 years, and this is the first time that I've seen the top 5 countries all in Europe, starting with Spain, France, Portugal, Italy, and the Netherlands. But there's one other major difference that I've seen in my clients between pre-2024 and now. Before 2024, most of the people who were living abroad were either adventurous backpackers, digital nomads, or affluent people, maybe some jet setters or multinational employees and executives. But since 2024, the type of people who want to move abroad is really everyone and anyone. Most people moving today describe themselves as ordinary people who just want a better life, or some who feel that it's their only option, but they aren't always welcome where they go. American tourists, expats, immigrants, and digital...
All right, so I'm gonna skip. Yes, I'm gonna skip to the parts that are really good. Right here.
Now, a Gallup poll last year found that 40% of
Fair use again. Fair use.
American women aged 15 to 44 would like to live abroad if they had the opportunity, but they're not alone. All different types of people, from students and professors to small business owners, engineers, retirees, corporate workers, and digital nomads. It seems like everybody would like to try life abroad. Parents, especially, who are concerned about the deteriorating state of the U.S. education system and especially the risk of school shootings, have also...
The risk of school shootings, because there's a certain time of the year, there's a certain season of the year. I notice around like the summer to fall, that's when the school shootings start to happen. If it's not that season, then definitely there's a season of the year that they go down, and I always question that. But you want to know what? Certain of those are actually planned,
been fleeing abroad. Says one parent who lives in Germany, you don't face the prospect of your 5-year-old going into kindergarten and doing an active shooter drill here. The wait...
Yeah, in the other countries is way safer. Even so-called third world countries are safer than this place.
Are higher in the US, but the quality of life is higher in Europe.
Now, renouncing citizenships, is the American dream dead?
Or is this just a temporary migration? Well, as someone who's helped people leave the US for the past 2 decades, I can say that there's three main reasons why they do so. The first one is quality of life. So people are moving towards something for the most part rather than away from something. And this is something that's, I think, been consistent probably throughout human history. People are always looking to find a better life somewhere, whether that's within their country or across borders. The second reason is the political climate, and this has been a more prominent reason in the last couple of years. So the more instability that there is in the US and the more that US policies affect you in your day-to-day life, whether that's at the grocery store or the gas pump or in your housing and utilities costs or in the level of safety that you feel or equality that you feel with your rights being respected within the country, these are all issues that are driving people to leave the country. And it's not
So is the American dream dead? Even renouncing citizenship. So they're literally abandoning and forsaking, like, yo, I'm leaving, and that's it. Now, that's it. I don't need to go into it anymore. But this is prophecy coming to pass. Prophecy is happening. Prophecy is taking place right now. That means that the Lord is on his way. The Lord is coming back very soon. That's the end of the lesson. Keep the faith. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Bahasham Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.